250 Gemstones culture represents a nation of people that strive for excellence and greatness every single day. We are more than journalism. We are a revolution. Come on, let's kick this door down and let everybody know we up in here. Welcome to the 250 Gemstones News TV channel. I am your host, Michael T. Porter, and I'm bringing the news to your ass like no other. This is a channel that represents a nation of people that strive for excellence and greatness every single day. I have another bomb news segment for y'all, but before I begin, y'all hit that like button, that subscribe button, that share button, hit that notification bell so you know when I am dropping. Also, if you'd like to support your boy, support the mission, support the channel, Cash App, $ Michael US. I got a sorry mom out here try to teach her son a lesson about gun violence and ends up shooting him in the head. Let's check this story, y'all. Drum roll, please. This is a court. Oh my gosh, you can get her hair cut or trimmed up or dyed or perm or laid. LawandCrime.com if you guys want to check out the article. Do you just want to die? Mom allegedly intended to discharge handgun to scare her bad kid, but ended up shooting him in the forehead and killing him. Her name is Tesha Florence, also known as Tesha Jenkins. Lord have mercy. A Kansas mom is behind bars after admittedly shooting and killing her son, even though she only intended to scare him with her gun, according to police. Tesha Florence, 46, also known as Tesha Jenkins, stands accused of 1 count each of murder in the second degree and aggravated assault and aggravated burglary, according to Sedgwick County Jail records. I shot my baby, the alleged killer said as she was being arrested earlier this month, according to the Wichita Police Department. On the morning of October 9th, police responded to a shooting at Jenkins' apartment on East Harry Street, according to an affidavit obtained by Law and Crime. The defendant allegedly spent a substantial time recounting the events of that sad day and expressing a deluge of sadness herself. Outside, the mom was emotionally distraught and fell to the ground and rolled around in distress, police wrote in the affidavit. Jenkins went limp and dropped to the ground. Jenkins also asked Officer Morris to just kill her. After asking her again what was going on, she said she accidentally shot her baby. Jenkins said that she pointed the gun but did not mean to shoot him. The documents reads, Officer Morris asked Jenkins if she was injured as she had blood on her face. She replied that she kissed her baby. At one point, the defendant allegedly described her son as a bad kid who was into drugs and who would not go to school. Inside, Robert Florence, 16, was found lying face down on the living room floor, suffering from a long gunshot wound to the head. Jenkins allegedly told police her son was supposed to be in school on the day in question, but that he decided he did not want to go, so he didn't. Then the boy's 2 older brothers left the apartment. She called her youngest son's school to let them know he wouldn't make it. At home for the day, the teenager allegedly began nagging his mother by calling out mama repeatedly and begging to use her phone, a request she initially refused. Then he allegedly said he was going to see a downstairs neighbor about getting some weed. Jenkins allegedly told police. It's crazy. Later, her son asked to use the phone again, according to the affidavit. This time, he said he wanted to call one of his brothers to tell him to ask their father for money. The mother says she acquiesced to her son's request. After the call, her son began pulling down the curtains and tearing up bits of paper and throwing them on the floor. Jenkins surmised her son became destructive simply to upset her. At some point, Jenkins said she laid down on the bed and started texting a friend, according to the affidavit. Then her son picked up a backpack and removed a Ruger Security 9mm police alleged. So her son had the gun, then her son picked up a backpack and removed. Okay. Who the backpack belonged to. The affidavit recounts the fatal shooting as followed. Robert made no threats with the gun and did not point it at Jenkins. Jenkins lunged forward and grabbed the handgun and backpack from Robert. Jenkins held the handgun, pointed towards Robert, and made the statement of, "Do you just want to die?" Jenkins stated the handgun went off and she noticed Robert fall forward, and that's when she realized she had shot him. During her Marindenized interview, the mother said she believed the gun was empty, but recalled possibly loading 2 rounds some 2 weeks prior to the fatal shooting. When pressed by detectives, she allegedly said she racked the slide back, meaning she chambered a round when she took the gun away from her boy. Jenkins denied intending to shoot Robert, but admitted that she may have intended to discharge the gun with the intent to scare Robert. Jenkins confirmed that Robert made no threats when holding the handgun, never pointed it in her direction, and never said anything that was only holding the gun. Though that he was only holding the gun. The teenager was shot in the forehead. Jenkins' son succumbed to his injuries on October 11. In a separate portion of the charging document, Jenkins stands accused of forcing her way into her ex-husband's residence and angrily pointing her handgun at him and his 22-year-old girlfriend. This incident allegedly occurred in March. Law enforcement said they learned about the alleged assault and burglary while investigating the fatal shooting. The defendant is currently being detained on a $1.2 million bond. So wait a minute. In a separate portion of the charging document, read this back. Jenkins stands accused of forcing her way into her ex-husband. So this some fishy stuff. Once again, it's lawandcrime.com. She's breaking into her ex-husband's home. Make sure I read this right. Yep, her ex-husband residence, and angrily pointing her handgun at him. So that backpack belonged to her child. Belonged to her. That backpack initially belonged to her. That was her gun. And she out there, she's fed up with life. You could tell she's tired. You can tell she haven't made good decisions in her life. You can just tell she's been beat up, abused, and ragdolled by life. Her and her son is out of control. This is a broken home. Her ex-husband knocked her up. She got 3 kids, I'm assuming, by her ex-husband. He don't want her no more. Her kids are out of control. She can't stand it. She can't concentrate. She's constantly distracted by her son's bad behavior. And me personally, which I like my opinion, which I like some of this 250 Gemstones News TV commentary. Of course, that's why your ass is here. I'm going to tell you like this. Seeing all the circumstances, he's smoking weed, he's going to get her gun. She pulled out her gun on her ex-husband's girlfriend, running up in his house, breaking into his home. I can see her shooting him. I'm not saying that she did it, but I can see her being fed up with life, like I said, and letting her son have it. He's out of control. And then when the damage is done, everybody said, "Oh, my baby." Because the thing is, and when you get really angry at somebody, that anger is something that a lot of us have to work on. A lot of us have to work on how to channel that anger, how to get control of our emotions, because this is what happens with anger. Anger will drive you and push you and tell you it's going to be okay to just go ahead and get your revenge, and you get the revenge. But what anger don't tell us is about the consequences we have to live with when we follow through with desires that derive from anger. So if your desire, the desire to slap somebody, desire to pistol whip somebody, your desire to shoot somebody, your desire to go up somebody's head with a baseball bat, your desire to spread a rumor about somebody to ruin their reputation, wherever that desire is, and it's rooted in anger, is usually going to turn out bad. And I think she shot this boy purposely. And I also believe she felt guilty about it. Two things can be true. Another broken home, another home filled with chaos. But y'all flood my comments. What do y'all think about this mother? Y'all let me know. 250 capital G. I'm gone.